everyone. This is Leslie Ray's Crafty Gig or Scrappy Gig, and I'm Leslie Ray. I really do know where I am today, I promise. We are going to talk later on in this broadcast about using rubber stamps in your scrapbooks. I have some fun pictures from Halloween. I believe I told you last time that I gave up a long time ago on trying to scrap chronologically. And so I scrap to what moves me. And since I wanted to discuss scrapping with stamps, then I decided that since I love Halloween stamps and I have gobs and gobs and gobs of Halloween stamps, almost as many snowflake stamps, but definitely more Halloween stamps, I wanted to scrapbook this thing here. And this is going to be from her perspective because I have pictures of it from his perspective as well. But this is Sam and Will. If you missed them for Halloween, Sam was the Wicked Witch, and Will, here's Will over here, and his friend that's a girl were the Flying Monkeys. So, and then here's a closer up of her face. Just love that picture. So I really, really, really loved how their costumes turned out. It was great. And I have some fun stamps. Because it's Sam's, and even though she's a total zombie girl, I didn't want to make it too dark. I want to use some fun little stamps I have. One of them is bewitching. And then I have some other fun stamps that these go along with the Stampin' Up! Punch, like this. And there's one with a cat in it. It says Happy Halloween. And then, even though this says Merry Christmas, or Christmas Memories, sorry, I want to use this. I'm going to show you how to use this without stamping Christmas Memories. And then, got several other fun Halloween-y stamps that match those. And these are pretty much all Stampin' Up! Sets, except for this stamp. This stamp is a Hampton Art set, or a stamp. It's just Hampton Art. It's from Allison Wong. It's called Christmas Memories. This stamp is a Great Impressions stamp by Vicki Schreiner. And then this stamp is a G Studio stamp, which is also Hampton Art. If you're not familiar with Hampton Art and G Studio, they're the ones that, like, if you're at Joann's or Michael's or things like that, and they have big stashes of really inexpensive stamps, like this stamp was probably $1. I can't imagine this stamp being more than a couple of dollars. I mean, they're just cheapo stampos. And I have a Spooky. And that one was also a G Studio. Yeah, it's a G Studio stamp also. That's a great way to start a stamp collection if you don't already have a bunch of stamps. You will notice that when I went to grab the stamps I wanted to use for this, I went to my wood stamps. I'm a red rubber girl. I like wood also. Say what you will, Fab. Anyway, but this when I have my own line of stamps one day, when I grow up and get to have a line of stamps, I want them to be red rubber stamps. So, red rubber is my favorite. Hi, Leanne. Welcome, people. And while I was looking, I've told a few of you I have this stamp. But I figure y'all could all appreciate it, right? So, anyway. Some days I need to stamp it on my husband. The other day, he had glitter on his face, and it was very, very fun. We had a good time. Fab reminded me, just as I was starting the show, and I wanted to have it on the recording, because I'm hoping people will come back and watch this, and they'll go, oh, well, I want to go see that later. So, the group known as The Odd Show, which is myself, Amanda Marks, and Fabrizio Martolucci, we we have a lot of stuff planned. We have been doing the Odd Show stuff since about June or July. The Odd Show started on the premise that on the 5th Friday of the month, we would do an odd show because Fab was doing like the 1st and the 3rd, and I was doing the 2nd and the 4th. But last year, there were probably 3 or 4 opportunities to have a stream on a 5th Friday, and so it became known as the Odd Show. And we did a couple of those and had a great time. This year, not so many opportunities to have Odd Show. But we want to collaborate on some other things. And so one of the main things we're really gearing up for and doing a really big push for, and there's several of our co-collaborators are in the room with us, so I will mention them. We are going to, on Saturday, the 5th of May, from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. That's like 10 hours. No, 8 hours. That's high math. It's 8 hours. No, it's 10 hours. It's 10 hours. It's a long time. We are going to, in the link to room that belongs to Fab, we're going to have ourselves as well as Molly and Terry and Susan and Dawn, and we keep hoping Mom, my mommy. And we're going to do some really cool demos and have free downloads and lots of wonderful guests and challenges and giveaways. And if you're not already a fan of The Odd Show on Facebook, it's facebook.com/Odd Show, I believe. I think, no, or The Odd Show. And if you will check on that for me, Amanda or Fab, please come and feel free, because we're going to do a lot of stuff back and forth, and we will, get some ideas from you, as well as share some ideas of some things we want to do. We've already started getting some wonderful donations from people, and plan to have lots more. It's going to be super, super fun. We did something similar to this last year with the Creative Adventures group, and had decided to go on and do it longer and have more demos and all that kind of stuff. So we're very excited to be doing this and hope all of you join us. We have lots of great talent with lots of fun stuff to share. So I wanted to share that. Amanda, if you could confirm what the Facebook page is, please. Bye, Elaine. We'll see you later. Maybe you'll be down at the Seed Exchange next week. So, Elaine is part of the group that does the artisan and produce market that we have in town, and hopefully I will get to see her, and hopefully she won't be feeling coffee and yucky, because I don't want to be around somebody like that. Yes, The Odd Show. There we go. Facebook.com/The Odd Show. And if you're not already a fan, please come be a fan, because we're going to be doing some stuff, and we've got some big announcements coming up this week, like this weekend, like Sunday, that will pique your interest and hopefully have you hanging around with us. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Lots of good things coming up. Are y'all ready to find out who is going to win tonight's Crafty Gift Challenge? You are. I know you are. Let's see. I'm going to random.org. And like I said, I have 3 people in the drawing. Unless somebody, did anybody who's in the room link up on my Facebook page that I missed? The only person I got was Fab. I have 2 for Amanda on my blog, and I have Fab. Did any of you other lovely, wonderful people link up and I missed you? No? Okay. All right, I'm going with 3. I'm at random.org. That's okay, Bev. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this all year. So hopefully, we will just grow. That's the plan. I hope everybody grows with me. All right, generating, and the winner was Amanda. Yay. It was Amanda. It was number 1. And Amanda was entry number 1. Yay! You had a 2 and 3 shot, Amanda. So the odds were in your favor. As always, remember you can enter up to 4 times. And the reason we come up with the number 4 is because I am trying to do 1 page per week. And I'm going to end up with having 2 of my girl and 2 of my boy. I did good in January. I got January kicked away. I'm a little slow in February. I will admit it right now. I'm a little slow. Tonight's layout will be the first one I've done for February. So I'm hoping to get some scrapbooking done this weekend. And then if I get really excited and really far along, I will do all 4 of them this weekend. And I've got some posting to do. I don't know if y'all noticed lately, but my posting has been kind of strange. I'm working on that. So you got 4 pages done this week. Oh, good, Raven. There was somebody was doing some pretty awesome scrapbooking after CHA of all the fun they had at Disney World or Disneyland, and that was pretty cool. And I tried to get them to enter, but they did not. So, but what Amanda has won is a goodie bag from Cut and Paste Memories. So make sure Mommy has your email. I'm pretty sure she does, though, Amanda. But make sure Mommy has your email, and that way you'll get your prize. Yay! Yay, prize! Next month, starting tonight, I'll go get the thing up. We'll be starting our next scrapbook challenge. Again, 4 pages. I don't think right now I just want people to join. So the challenge is just to get the stuff, get your pages done. Raven is the challenge right now. I think maybe further down the road, as I learn something new and fun, we might add that in. But maybe for a bonus, like maybe you get a bonus entry if you use stamps in it, since we're doing stamping. So let's do that. Let's say you can enter up to 4 times. And if you use rubber stamps or stamping in your layout, and I don't mean just inking the edges, I mean full-fledged, full-on, I got a stamp out and I stamped it, like Fab used stamps in his layout of his mom. Use stamping in your layout, then that will count as a bonus entry. Y'all like that? Yes. Hi, Jen. No worries, Jen. So, does anybody have any questions? I'll put that in the post with it. The post will be on my blog spot. I'll probably try to get that done after the show as quick as possible so it can be up and ready to go first thing in the morning. But if you use rubber stamps on your layout, you get a bonus entry. And you can enter up to 4 times. So if you use rubber stamps on all 4 layouts, that could be up to 8 entries. Up to 8. So, and I think what we'll do is, yeah, we'll do that. So, does anybody have any questions? No? Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this. I have some announcements at the end of the show about some cool stuff. And, yes, Samantha?
Look,
Oh. Sam drew us a very pretty picture. You want to see? Here we go. See the puppy? Yes. Quite the artist. Okay, miss. I'm going to start scrapbooking. Okay? Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to turn the camera down. Are y'all ready? I'm ready. Ta-da! Okay. I have this out because I have twine and I want to share with you, but I also want to use it. Like I said earlier, the stamps I want to use are mostly from Stampin' Up. And some of them are going to serve the purpose of a embellishment, which is what the little cat is going to do. And some of them are going to serve as like just little sayings here and there. But I want to show you first this stamp. I haven't really talked to you a whole lot about rubber stamping. I don't know why. I just haven't. I love to rubber stamp. I think it's probably one of the more fun things that I have been doing in my crafting career. And a lot of times when I would get these stamps in particular from this company, or from companies that sell just blank rubber, like the Viva Las Vegas company does. Sorry, Viva Las Vegas Stamp Company does. You're left on your own devices to cut them out. And these are stamps that I actually cut out. Since these are older stamps, this company now has where they have kind of done a small die kind of cut around it, and you'll have some little tick marks on the edges where it's touched the rest of the rubber, and then you still trim these out a little further. But used to, you had to cut these completely out from scratch. So I got into the practice at that time. If there was stuff on the stamp that I didn't like, or if I really wanted to use the stamp as two separate things, I would go ahead and cut it separately. And like, for instance, if this hat had words underneath it that said, you know, happy haunting or something like that, I would want the hat by itself, but I would want the words too. And so like I would mount the words here and have just the hat. Does that make sense? Thank you, Fab. Pre-cut is the word I was looking for. I appreciate you helping with that word. Could not come up with that word to save my life. My friend Sandy, if she was in the room, she would be like, oh, gasp, because she always said when I told her, you know, don't just cut that off if you don't like what it says, you know. She always thought that was Stamp-A-Side. But, you know, it just makes the stamp a nicer stamp for me. I appreciate it more without, you know, the extra verbiage, or I know I'm going to use it some other way. So, with that in mind, yeah, that's one of the reasons I really like Stampin' Up! Company, and that's one of the reasons I really like Viva Las Vegas stamps. It's because you can trim them out yourself to have them be what you want them to be. Maybe you like this part of the stamp, but not that part of the stamp, and you can separate them. Or another thing is maybe, this is a perfect example of one that would have been, if I'd have been thinking, I would have cut it. But the word Happy Halloween. Well, this is a good size for most cards. This will be a great size for our layout. But what if you wanted to do a shorter card? Instead of having to stamp part and then stamp part, if you had it cut where you could layer them, have happy on top of Halloween or that kind of stuff, it would make a nicer stamp. And I've even done that with acrylic stamps that I've had that are extra long, and I wanted, like, maybe it said Merry Christmas all the way across, and I wanted it really to say Merry and then Christmas, then, you know, by all means, cut that. But when I mounted this one, I decided I wanted to say Happy Halloween all the way across, so that's okay. We can live with that. But this one that says Christmas Memories, I really want to use this stamp because these swirls don't scream Christmas to me. They're just swirls, right? But I don't want this to say Christmas Memories. We could do one of two things. We could blacken it out so it just says Memories, or we could leave this blank up here, put some other, you know, embellishment here, and then just cut this. Now, the reason I picked this stamp was for two things. One, it has lines, so I could journal on this, and this will be a perfect journaling block for my layout. And that's exactly what I want to do with it. And really, I would kind of like my little bee flying above it, or put the little bat there, something like that, okay? So I'm going to show you how to stamp this without stamping this. And there's a couple of ways you can do it, okay? So let me show you that first before we get too carried away. It's not wide enough. How silly of me. That was not wide enough. I love that bat too. That's one of the reasons I got that stamp set, was the bat and the little spider that dangles down. It's a very fun little grungy set. It's just, it's neat. Stampin' Up! Has not made a whole bunch of exciting stamps, or stamps that I just had to have like they used to. Used to, they were the company that I wanted to purchase my stamps from all the time. And I don't know if I'm just saturated in the number of stamps, or if, you know, what the deal is. So, okay. One way to do this is, and I'm going to do it in pink, and I apologize, it's just that I have a pink marker here. One way to do this is to use a marker. And what you would do is color. And this will give you a great deal of control. A great deal of control. And really, while you're coloring, if you wanted to color different things, like maybe you wanted to make the lines black or orange and the outline green, you could. You could make it very, very customized. Now, when I get up to this part, I'm going to make sure that I'm not letting my pen go over the word Christmas and Memories. And here we go. And if I just happened to be a sloppy colorer today, I'll show you in the next technique what you can do to fix that. Now, as you see, I'm working pretty fast, but not at lightning speed either. Because the neat thing with dye-based inks is you can do what they call huff on it or blow on it, right? And so you go, that's me going, okay? And stamp. Alright? And I could have huffed a little bit better in that corner. But as you see now, we have the stamp without the Christmas memories. Now you want to be careful with huffing because you could do too much huffing and pass out. So you don't want to do that. But, you know, just the right amount of huffing is what you want. So, you're impressed? Why are you impressed, Molly? Did I have that much huff power? Or that actually worked? No. Okay. So, the stamp I used was called a Stampin' Right. It's by Stampin' Up. I love this color. This color is Melon Mambo. But anyway, you you know what's really cool of hand coloring this, and this is true with any solid stamp or any outline stamp. Like if you wanted to use, well, this is just the word. It's not the negative like it looks here. But like this stamp here, you could color your pumpkin orange, the stem one color, the lines another color, and the words a different color. All with markers. And let's see if I can get it to focus just on that. Come on. There. And that would be really a great technique to do with that kind of stamp. This works best, obviously, with water-based markers, not with alcohol ink-based markers, because no amount of huffing is going to moisten your alcohol ink marker to do that. Now, another technique you could do with that, especially solid flowers. This looks so beautiful. If you took a solid flower, colored the petals, and I would use two colors, like do the outside kind of and the inside a little bit lighter or yellowier, and color the center, and then take and mist it lightly with a mister and stamp it. Then it looks like watercolor. Something like this would just kind of bleed a little bit and look softer. Okay? Not what I'm going to talk to you about tonight, but just an idea. The next thing is to go directly on here, like you would if you were stamping the whole thing. And for this, I'm using just another dye ink. It would not have to be Tim Holtz Distress Inks. It's just what I got. Now, I'm gonna be messy because I want to show you taking it back off. Okay. Let's say you didn't get your mask on there like you should have. All right. So here's me. You can see I went over the words. I'm using a clean sock. I promise it's clean. It's just the mismatched sock. And I'm going in and wiping my ink off of the letters. Okay? So I wiped it off. You come off that S a little more. Like that. Okay? Again. With Tim Holtz ink also, you don't have to huff, and you don't have to move as fast. His inks stay wet a little bit longer. So, there you go. And in this case, you can lightly see where that ink was because I just didn't get it off completely enough. But if I had, and I wouldn't have had to work at it real hard, I can just do this. But also, when I was doing it, I got rid of my line. So, let's see if I can do that better. I know I can. I won't be the sloppy person this time. Okay, Fab. Good night. Fab, put in about your show this weekend so people can be there. Please. It's going to be in his link to room. What time is your show, Fab? Are you doing 11 Central, noon Eastern, or... Okay. All right. I didn't need her. I will be there, Fab. Thank you for coming. So there you go. All right. Yay. Stamping.